10 mysterious audio recordings from an anonymous email. Let's keep an open mind, Evie.
Let me guess, it's a demonic possession.
Okay, easy, all right.
I just saw Undertone, and it kind of sucked. It's like Hereditary, but with creepypasta and the lamest podcaster personalities with a dash of paranoia. I don't care about any of these characters. Their dialogue is horrendous. Their dynamics do not feel natural. They just feel fake. The artifice here is really showing itself very clearly. You also have an element where, yes, the sound design is good. And the best thing that this movie hits on is if you're alone at night, you're looking up something, you find something creepy or unsettling, and you have like kind of a nervous tinge in you. I think that this best hits on that idea, but unfortunately, it loses its definition. It just tells us too much. What it's telling us is really not that compelling, and it's hard to care about these characters and their situation. There's just not a lot worth talking about here, unfortunately. This is the equivalent of when you learn growing up that nursery rhymes are really quite morbid in definition, and honestly, that idea is featured here several times. It is a core component to the film. Oftentimes, Justin, the co-host of the podcast, will be describing the morbid content of the nursery rhymes, and then Evie will look up an accompanying visual, usually on Wikipedia or something, to follow that. But there's only really jump scares within some of the audio cues. I'm finding that visually it has a distinct lack of an identity. A lot of scenes are kind of repeated without any added nuance, so you're kind of looking at the same scenes over and over, and it gets very tiring very quick. It's difficult because this director has a note in the credits where they talk about their mom and their dad passing and how hard it was, and you can tell that there was an intentionality and there was, a core to this, like it's something that meant something to the director, but the definition just is not here. I do want to go into spoilers. The pathology of your main character, Evelyn, it's just told very outright. She's an alcoholic or recovering one, but she's pregnant. She's just stressed about her mother just about to pass. She's on certain medication. She's an alcoholic. She is pregnant, and she is just stressed out by her situation. You can see how these things have a confluence and go into one another, but really they don't have a lot of definition because what you're seeing on screen is kind of an altered image from an altered perspective. Ultimately, this doesn't really amount to much. There's not really anything that we can learn other than, yeah, it's kind of creepy, and that is the focus of a creepypasta. Something that is imbued from one story onto another, and that totally happens here, but it just doesn't really mean much. It's not well made as a film. Perhaps this would be an interesting podcast episode or like an audio feature-length thing. It's not servicing itself well as a film. It's written incredibly poorly. I am not really buying any of these characters, and even with a shorter runtime, it's just kind of wasting my time because it's not really saying a whole lot. It's just one of those features that, yeah, it had a big inspiration from Hereditary, and it's trying to do something unique, and I do like that sound design. It's not like there are things that I don't like about this. It's just a lot of diminishing returns. I'm really not thinking about it, and I only saw it last night. That is not a good sign. It's just one of these A24 movies that, yeah, they had a theatrical release, but it's going to be swept under the rug, and it doesn't deserve your time. Unfortunately, I'm very sorry to say that, and I know this is an important thing to the director, but it's just not compelling, and that's kind of what it comes down to. I gave this a 4 out of 10. Thank you for listening. I appreciate your time per usual. Check in tomorrow because I will have an Oscar predictions video. Hope you're enjoying your weekend, and I will have much more interesting movies to talk about next weekend. Thank you.